So, we're supposed to talk about civil rights, right? I mean, I know a lot about respecting different peoples and cultures, but the US government sure made it complicated.
Complicated is just another word for let's use 10 steps when two would do. Trust me, after traveling with the Avatar, I'm basically a professional at understanding government confusion. Okay, imagine the Fire Nation and Earth Kingdom both arguing over who protects your cabbage merchant rights.
That's federalism. The Constitution set up a balance, sometimes an awkward one, between what the national government could do and what states got to decide for themselves. In the beginning, the federal government barely got involved in civil rights. It was mostly up to the states.
But didn't that mean a lot of people, like certain Earth Kingdom towns, didn't get any real protection?
Exactly. The early years? Not good. The Supreme Court said in Barrenvort in Baltimore that the Bill of Rights only applied to the federal government. If a state wanted to stomp on your rights, well, too bad.
Unless you had a boomerang that magically defended your freedom, which for the record would be awesome.
But that changed after a huge war, right? Kinda like how everything changed after Sozin's Comet.
The Civil War. Yeah.
After that, we got the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. The national government started enforcing civil rights, at least for a while. They sent federal troops to the South, passed amendments banning slavery and making everyone a citizen, and even created early civil rights laws.
Which, no surprise, didn't last. When the federal troops left, states in the South brought in plenty of new firebending. The Jim Crow laws, Q segregation, discrimination, and basically zero federal help.
That sounds like the time nobody listened to me in the air temples about vegetarian stew. Everyone just did whatever they wanted.
Eventually, the national government stepped in again. The Civil Rights Acts of the 1950s and 60s, the Voting Rights Act, those really started to tip the balance. The federal government said, states, if you won't protect rights, we will. And the courts used incorporation, applying the Bill of Rights to the states so everyone gets the same baseline protections.
But even with all that, states could still offer more protection, just not less. Some places, like California, extra big on privacy rights. Others, like Montana, big on environmental rights. The states became laboratories of democracy. Basically a bunch of mad scientists seeing who could make the best rights potion.
I like that. Try things in one place, and if it works, everyone else can join in. Like when I invented air scooter riding, and then the lemurs all wanted to try.
Sometimes states and cities go further than the federal government. Sometimes they protect people before the national government ever acts, like passing anti-discrimination laws for LGBTQ+ people, or adding new categories for protection before the Supreme Court caught up.
Of course, sometimes there's conflict. The state wants one thing, the federal government another, messy, confusing, and perfect for people who love endless meetings.
So who actually makes all these rules about rights?
Congress writes civil rights laws using powers from the amendments, especially the 14th. But their power isn't unlimited. The courts can strike down laws that go too far or don't fit the real problems, like they did in City of Bourne v. Flores or Shelby County v. Fulton.
And don't forget executive orders. Presidents have made some huge moves, like desegregating the military, creating affirmative action rules, or protecting LGBTQ+ federal employees. They use their departments to actually enforce those rights too.
But all these branches, Congress, the president, and the courts, they're always pushing and pulling, aren't they? Sometimes Congress tries to fix a court decision they don't like. Sometimes the court blocks what Congress tries. Sounds stressful.
That's democracy, full of struggle. And don't forget public opinion. In the past, the majority didn't want to end segregation or let people marry who they love. It took decades before attitudes shifted, and new laws finally caught up.
The media? Super important. If people see injustice blasted across their crystal screens, they might actually take action. Hashtag activism, videos, celebrity speeches, all of it changes minds faster than a pack of sky bison at dinner time.
Interest groups help too, right? Like how the air nomads would all meet together and work for peace.
There are big organizations like the NAACP, ACLU, now, and plenty on the conservative side too. They fight their battles in courtrooms and legislatures, filing lawsuits and lobbying for new laws.
One thing's for sure, even choosing who runs the government is complicated. Campaign finance laws, voting rights, redistricting. So many chances for mischief. Gerrymandering is their word for when they rig up election maps. I call it boomeranging. You try to make votes fly one way, but sometimes it curves back on you.
But at the heart of it, the right to vote is a big deal. It's not always protected, and sometimes a real struggle just to be allowed in the voting tent.
Barriers pop up. ID laws, confusing rules, location cuts, you name it, but people fight to bring them down. Expand voting access, and make sure everyone gets a voice.
So, thinking about all this, it's pretty clear. Civil rights in America is an epic journey. Lots of wrong turns, but plenty of heroes trying to set things right. Not so different from our adventures, huh?
Every era has its team avatar. People willing to fight for what's right, no matter how tough it gets.
Let's hope the next generation keeps moving forward.
And keeps the meat supplies coming. Some rights are just universal,